So I think I just got played by a 55-inch TV. Here's what happened. I was at the store minding my own business. Okay, fine. I was absolutely looking for excuses to buy something. And I see this giant wall of festive deals. And right in the middle is a Samsung 55-inch 4K TV that costs less than my weekly grocery bill. And immediately my brain goes, oh cool, easy win. Big screen, big brand, tiny price. What could go wrong? Then I get closer. And yeah. The HDR logo is the size of my face, but the picture looks like it's using the brightness level of a sad phone from 2012. I mean, you know it's bad when the store demo loop, which is literally designed to make microwaves look cinematic, still looks like someone put a gray filter over it. I tap the screen a little, step back, squint at it like that's gonna help, and I'm thinking, is this the deal everyone online is hyping? This? Because here's the thing nobody tells you. A lot of these 55-inch festival steals are basically 4K in name only. On paper, HDR. In reality, HDR-ish. Like diet HDR. HDR 0. And that's when I realized I should probably stop judging these TVs by the giant stickers and actually test them. So I grabbed the usual suspects, Samsung, TCL, Hisense, LG, and put them through the kind of testing that would make a TV cry if it had feelings. What I found? Well, let's just say some of these amazing deals are amazing for all the wrong reasons.
Alright, let's start with the one you're definitely going to see everywhere, the Samsung 55-inch DU8000. This thing is basically the poster child of looks premium from 5 feet away, reality hits set 6. On the shelf it's all clean edges, tiny bezels, fancy Samsung UI, but once you fire up HDR, yeah, this is where the plot twist punches you in the face. We're talking roughly 300-ish nits of HDR brightness, which is technically legal, but spiritually dishonest. When a TV says HDR and then delivers the brightness of a polite desk lamp, you know something is off. SDR? Fine. Darkroom? Passable. Bright room with windows? The sun wins. Every time. And the funniest part is Samsung knows exactly what they're doing. The marketing screams Crystal UHD, which sounds like a superpower, but really just means it's 4K. Please don't ask follow-up questions. So yeah, for casual Netflix at night, it's okay. But if you're expecting anything remotely cinematic, this is the looks good in the cart, regrets begin in the living room type of deal. Next up is the Hisense U6K, aka the budget mini LED that shouldn't be this good for the price, but somehow is. This thing pulls off a magic trick. Real local dimming, solid contrast, and around 500 plus nits of HDR brightness. Not knock your socks off, but definitely a hey that actually looks like HDR. Compared to the Samsung DU8000, the U6K feels like someone finally turned the lights on. But wait, plot twist number 2, Google TV. Look, I love Google TV when it wants to behave. Sometimes it's smooth, other times it's like the interface drank NyQuil. Still, for under $450, mini LED at this price is kind of insane. Games at 4K 60 look sharp, the input lag is great, and honestly, this is the best bang for buck festive model if you just want a huge screen that doesn't betray you in daylight. If Samsung DU8000 is a safe but boring option, the U6K is the overachiever kid who shows up with a science project made out of cardboard and somehow wins.
And then there's the TCL Q6, the TV that genuinely thought it was going to be a gaming monitor. This thing has the most chaotic personality of the bunch. QLED colors? Nice. Decent HDR brightness? Surprisingly yes. 1080p or 1440p at 120 Hz? Technically? But it's like the TV is saying, look, I can kind of do it, don't push me. The biggest problem isn't the gaming features, it's the processing. Put a crisp 4K movie on it and it looks good, but switch to YouTube or cable and suddenly you're in a watercolor painting. The upscaler tries its best, but sometimes its best looks like it's trying to solve a puzzle with missing pieces. Still, for budget gaming, very solid. Fast response, low input lag, colorful panel, just be prepared for the occasional, why does the sky look like a blue gradient toothpaste smear moment? Okay, now let's step things up, literally, with the Samsung Q80C, the TV that walks into the budget aisle and goes, I do not belong here, but thanks for the invitation. This thing is basically Samsung going, fine, you want real HDR? Here. Because unlike the DU8000's HDR, but not really, the Q80C actually pushes around 700 plus nits, has full array local dimming, and yes, 120 Hz that doesn't require secret settings only wizards can find. Bright living room? This TV laughs at sunlight. Sports? Smooth. Gaming? HDMI 2.1, VRR, the whole buffet. If the DU8000 is your entry-level roommate TV, the Q80C is the friend that actually brings a ring light and fixes your whole setup. But yeah, the price jumps up, and during festive season, it hovers in that, should I treat myself zone? But performance-wise, the Q80C is the first TV on this list that actually delivers that oh wow moment when you fire up a proper HDR movie.
Alright, now let's talk LG C3 OLED. The TV that doesn't just look good, it flexes on everything around it. OLED is one of those things where the second you see it, your brain goes, oh, right, that's how it's supposed to look. Perfect blacks, crazy contrast, infinite dimming because, well, each pixel dims itself. It's cheating in the best way possible. Movies, chef's kiss. Gaming, 4 HDMI 2.1 ports. WebOS, still weird sometimes but fast and clean. There is one caveat, and you already know what I'm about to say. Burn-in. Not likely for normal TV watchers, but if you leave ESPN tickers on for 12 hours a day, or you're planning to use it as a static office monitor, yeah, maybe don't. Still, with how aggressive OLED pricing gets during this season, the C3 suddenly becomes the actually kind of affordable, which is crazy. And now the LG C5, the 2025 glow-up nobody asked for, but we're all secretly grateful for. Think of it as the C3's older sibling who got slightly better grades and won't stop bringing it up. It's brighter, it's cleaner, the processing is smoother, and the design is even thinner, which is wild considering how thin the C3 already was. Does it reinvent OLED? No. Does it justify the higher price? Well, during normal months, maybe not, but during festive season, when the gap between C3 and C5 shrinks like crazy, the C5 suddenly becomes the why not go newer option. If the C3 is the OLED deal, the C5 is the OLED flex.
Before we wrap up, let's quickly hit two models people keep asking me about during festive season, the ones that show up in recommended deal lists and confuse absolutely everybody. First is the Hisense U7N, which is basically the U6K's older, slightly more athletic brother. More brightness, better motion, and a cleaner overall HDR punch. But the price gap between U6K and U7N this season? Yeah, that's where things get messy. If the U7N isn't massively discounted, the U6K is still the smarter pickup for most buyers. Then you have TCL's QM7, which is the I really want the Q8, but my wallet said no option. Tons of brightness, strong gaming performance, and way fewer compromises than older TCL mid-range models. But it comes with the usual TCL quirks, occasional processing weirdness, and that maybe I'll cooperate, maybe I won't Google TV attitude. Still, if you want raw brightness and big HDR highlights at a mid-range price, the QM7 is a legit contender.
Alright, let's bring this home because if you're still watching, you're probably standing in front of a wall of TVs or scrolling Amazon with that just tell me which one to buy energy. So here's the bottom line. If you just want the cheapest 55-inch TV that doesn't make you regret life, the Hisense U6K is the most sensible choice. Mini LED, solid HDR, and way better real-world performance than anything in its price range has any right to offer. If you want something brighter, cleaner, and way more premium without going OLED, the Samsung Q80C is the safest recommendation I can make. It works in bright rooms, it works for gaming, and it works for movies. No nonsense. And if you want the best picture quality here, period, it's the LG C3 or C5 OLED, depending on which one is cheaper when you're watching this. OLED still looks better than everything else at this size and price. It just does. But whatever you do, don't get tricked by giant HDR stickers and fake-sounding marketing terms. Specs matter, real brightness matters, local dimming matters, viewing conditions matter. And that's why we test this stuff, so you don't waste money.